Agree or disagree? Sorry?
You shouldn't abuse animals.
You shouldn't abuse animals, no. So what would you define animal abuse as?
What would I define as?
Yeah.
It's, using them for research. People breeding animals and treating them like shit. And,
Okay. Yeah.
Breeders, a lot of breeders got no morals at all.
Breeders as in like dog breeders or?
Cat breeders, dog breeders, all the same. All
Yeah.
goes on.
Cow breeders, pig breeders.
Are you saying now then that you shouldn't eat meat?
Well, it's not just about meat, it's about all forms of animal exploitation. So obviously most people say that they're against animal abuse, but they actively participate in it. So I'm just trying to get people to align their morals with their actions.
So what are you going to eat if you don't eat meat?
So do you think that you need...
You need all the plant stuff.
Do you need...
supplements
do
to supplement meat.
Do you need to eat... You're trying to say that you need to eat meat to be healthy? You need to eat animal flesh to be healthy?
Not at all. But I know somebody now, right? She's been a vegetarian all her life.
Right.
And she's just been told by the doctors, if you don't start eating properly and eat some meat, you're going to be in trouble.
So she's been to the doctors, but you know that doctors don't actually have any training in nutrition whatsoever. Well, so she's been to a dietitian.
And you believe all the dietitians, see, most of them are paid.
Dietitians have their whole training is based on nutrition. Yeah. Doctors, GPs, general practitioners have zero training on nutrition. So it could just mean that she's not eating properly in general, because do you agree that even people...
Her body's lacking something and she's been told that she's got to eat some meat.
So you don't think that any people who eat meat can also be deficient in anything?
Of course you can.
Right, so it could not be to do with the fact that... But this isn't just about meat. I don't agree with vegetarianism either, because they exploit mother cows for their wombs and their babies are taken away multiple times. They're forcibly impregnated against their will. Also, people who wear leather and wool.
I understand your theory and I understand your opinion. And
it's not an opinion, though. It's not an opinion.
You're standing there, so it's your opinion.
I'm trying to educate people on what I didn't used to know either.
You're lacking. You're not going to do it.
Lacking what? I have multiple people who, when they approach me and have this conversation, they're open-minded and they're willing to learn about what happens, because often they don't know what happens in these industries. Most people don't actually know, just like I didn't know. So if people are open-minded enough and they don't agree with animal abuse, then they start aligning their morals with their actions. So it is about education, because most people don't know. It's my belief that most people don't know, and I'm not sharing lies. I'm sharing facts.
Know what is going on and what it needs to sustain the food chain for people, regardless of what you eat, and they're ignorant.
But you even just said that you don't need to eat animal flesh to be healthy.
You don't need to, but you need a supplement to take the place of that. And the supplements are not always there, and then the supplements are made of what?
Which supplements are you talking about? B12?
No idea, because I don't take none of that.
So you're talking about education, but you don't actually know the facts, because you don't know what supplements you need to take if you don't eat flesh.
What I'm trying to say to you is I understand what you're trying to get across.
Which is what?
Which is we don't need animals, and you mustn't take animals from the womb and all this lot. But
all forms of animal exploitation. It's not just meat. Yeah. So you're talking about just meat, but what about their skin and their wool and forcing them into marine parks?
What are you going to do if you don't take the wool off certain animals, certain sheep that are made for wool? What are we going to do then? We don't need your wool anymore. So what are you going to do?
So most sheep, domesticated sheep today, have been artificially bred, so that they produce way more wool, because they're selectively bred, and then they're artificially inseminated.
You're saying that women don't get artificially inseminated? My daughter-in-law has just had that done.
But does she consent to it?
Of course she consents.
Exactly, but the animals don't consent.
So how are you going to get that one across then?
The animals don't consent. You can't do something to someone when they don't consent about it. But you asked me a question about wool and you're not letting me answer.
Have a look around the street and say how many of these people are going to live without
because
meat. So what are you going to do?
Why you just keep on bringing up meat? We were talking about wool. You can't take your mind off meat, which most people like. What is this obsession with meat?
But then,
we're just talking about wool, and you directly converted your attention
about different aspects and different things from animals, whether it's.
You asked me the question about wool, and you didn't let me finish the answer. You started talking about meat again. You started talking.
Vegetarian?
I'm not a vegetarian. No, I don't exploit animals for anything. You can call it what you can call it what you want.
Are you a vegan?
What do you think veganism means?
I haven't got a bloody clue.
Exactly,
But
because people
vegans-
think that it's a diet. It's not. I just
Vegans-
don't
you're a
exploit.
vegan.
I'm not a vegan. I just don't exploit animals.
But do I stand here
I'm
and
not a
lecture
vegan.
you?
I just don't
Do
exploit
I stand
animals.
here and lecture you?
Okay,
You
so
can-
if you saw someone kicking a dog in the street,
I'd knock him out.
exactly, and that's how I feel about all animals. So you're talking about lecturing, but you would happily beat someone up in the street if they were beating up a dog. But
Now you're shouting. This is the difference.
How am I
You cannot-
shouting?
Because everybody
Because
else is looking to say,
you're
"Can
not
you?"
letting me speak.
People,
But you're not letting me speak.
I haven't got the time to let you speak. I'll be here all night. I got to go and get bits and
You
pieces.
just told me that I'm lecturing people. I'm forcing my
waiting for me.
I'm forcing my opinion on people.
Yeah.
But how would you feel if somebody told you that you were forcing your opinion on the person who's trying to beat up a dog? You would say it's not my opinion. Of course not. But why not be?
Surely.
Of course it is.
Then
But
there
why
we go.
not be
When I
against
say
all?
beat up, if you kick my dog, I'll knock him out.
Yeah, but why don't you be against all forms of animal exploitation
Because
and
we
cruelty?
can't- This world wouldn't survive like that, and you
Of course,
know it.
of course.
Don't be so
There are
silly.
millions of vegans worldwide, people who don't exploit animals.
And there are billions of people in India alone. That
Are you in India? Are you in
Do I
India?
look like it?
Exactly. So
Does
you
this
have the
look
choice. You have the choice.
Yes. And I'm
Yes.
the choices.
And you choose
I don't
animal
eat- I
exploitation.
don't eat a lot of meat.
It's
I
not
don't have wool
about.
jumpers.
It's not about the amount. Would you say to somebody who only beats their wife up once a week, "Oh, yeah, it's fine because you only beat up her once a week"?
No, so you'd have the
So
same,
it's not
same
about-
as what? Why does the wife keep going back?
Sorry.
Why does the wife keep going back? Maybe she likes to be beaten once a week, and I don't agree with that. So don't go into that one. I'd
What?
treat him as well as I would treat somebody that kicked.
But I'm using another injustice as
I
an
know.
example because
You can go on with
sometimes
that all
people.
day, branching
Because
off.
sometimes people can't relate to animals enough, so they need a human example. So you're saying I don't eat meat often. You keep bringing meat up, even though I'm trying to divert the attention elsewhere. But even if you do it just a little bit, if you understand it's an injustice,
I understand
that animals
what
are being
you're saying,
exploited
but
and
you've got
harmed,
a job on your hands convincing people any other than the life they got.
and it needs to start with the consumer level. It needs to
needs
start
to
with the
start
minority. Why not? Why not everyone?
But educate
So
children.
you're saying that we only should speak to children. We shouldn't speak to adults as well. It's
too
about
late.
everyone.
It's too late to educate adults because they will walk past you and say, not interested.
So you're
which
saying
is
that.
what I should have done.
So you're saying that no adults have the ability to live without
Of course
exploiting
they
animals.
do. But They
Exactly.
got to work. They got to pay bills. They got to see their kids, see their wife, pay the mortgage,
Right.
keep their job
And you can
going.
do all of that
They
without.
haven't got time to worry about other things. They got to feed their kids.
Do you think that the animals are thinking that? Do you think that the animals think it's fair that people don't have time to avoid exploiting
I
them?
wouldn't have thought so.
Exactly. So when we imagine if you were one of the animals that this was happened to, either in a marine park, in a prison, or
This is
having
what I'm trying to
your
say to
skin
you, that
removed.
I understand where you're coming from, but how are you going to educate all these people? You've got to educate.
I'm doing it on a
You've got to start
personal level.
with the children.
No,
The
I
same
don't
as with
agree.
the
You
IRA.
start with everyone.
Same as with the IRA in Ireland. You couldn't teach the adults it is not right to kill.
That's not. You just
so
said
they
that.
started teaching the children,
You
and now
just-
things are getting better.
You just said yourself that some adults, most adults in fact, when they learn about it, they have the ability to stop exploiting animals. You don't just speak to children about it. Like
Totally agree.
when
But
they were
people will
first
come here and talk to
abolishing.
you now, and when they go home tonight, they're still going to. I mean, a lot of your clothes.
Not everyone. Not every. You're saying that everyone.
You may get to.
How do you know
one in
how
a
many
thousand.
people that I am able to help align their morals with that action? How do you know how many there are
How many
who
people
actually
standing there
care?
talking to you? How many people
One at a
stand to you?
time. I do this in all different types of ways. Today I'm here on my own. Sometimes I'm here with a group. Sometimes I go to London and do different things. Like, it's not just today on my own this one time. It's multiple times. And there are lots of me. There are lots of versions of me. And you're saying that we should just educate children, but it's not just about children.
I'm not saying you should
Just like when the
educate
abolitionists
children.
started to
Adults
get.
don't take any notice. So you've got to start off with a new
That's a
generation.
massive generalisation. You're saying
Yes.
no adults
No,
take
I never
notice.
said no adults. I said adults, not all of them. Adults normally.
That's not
don't take
true.
any
There's
notice
so
'cause they've
many.
got their own lives to
There's-
get on with.
There's many people who I know who are adults and stop exploiting animals in their adult life. You don't need to be a certain
It
age.
makes no difference because I've got to get on with my life.
Okay, you get on with your life then. I'll speak to people who care about animals because you say that you care, but you actually don't.
Of course I do. But I do.
But you don't though, so just walk on, it's fine. You don't care about them. And no, I don't need your look. I just want people to start respecting animals. I want people to start respecting animals. That's not you. Do you want to come and chat to me? Agree or disagree? Agree or disagree? Why? Okay, so we shouldn't exploit them for anything then? How long have you been vegan? Hypocritical. They're sentient beings, but I exploit them. Interesting. Confusing. See who's in there. Hi guys. Sorry? You agree? You disagree or agree?
I agree, yeah.
That it should be legal? Animal abuse should be legal? So I just need to stand near my bag here. Yeah.
Oh, do you think? Oh no, I don't agree with that.
What do you define animal abuse as?
Well, I don't think animals should be abused at all.
For anything, no. Well, neither do I. I just the reason I'm holding this here is to try and get. Sorry.
For medical research or anything.
Yeah, so you would think that's classed as abuse, if they're used as for medical like testing and things like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. What about like in marine parks and zoos? Do you think that's abuse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with that as well. Yeah. Yeah. What about forcibly impregnating cows and stealing her babies so that we can drink her baby's milk?
Yeah, I agree.
Think that's cruel as well.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, obviously. Are you a bit vegan, like you fully don't wear their skin or wool or anything like that as well?
I know you can take to different levels, but I do my best. I think there's probably some items of clothing I've got that.
Yeah. So sometimes like people have things left over, but it's about not buying anything new, isn't it? That's
from charity shops and things like that.
Yeah. You make sure that because I think I just like to check. So even when I speak to sometimes vegans, some vegans just think it's a diet, and I was on a plant-based diet for 5 years, calling myself vegan because I thought that veganism was a diet, but then I actually learned what it really was. And like that whole time I'd been buying their skin, and like I bought my dog from a breeder and all those, I was still exploiting animals. So it's just like, I think it's a massive issue that the majority of the population think it's a diet, because that's why they think it's this extreme personal choice.
Diet, isn't it?
The plant-based diet part is part of it, because obviously we exploit animals for food, but that's not what veganism is it?
No, you can take it a lot further. I mean, it's even things like tires and things, isn't it?
I mean, because there's even like apparently energy, some providers of energy use dead animals and stuff like that. So, you've got to do as much as you possibly can. Exactly. And I know that some people are literally limited on, if they have to buy a second-hand car, if the only one that they can afford has leather seats, like that. That doesn't make them not vegan, but it's about having the mindset, isn't it, rather than a set of, particular practices. Anyway, I'll let you get on. Thanks. I'll see you in a bit. Bye. You too.
I'm interested in your sign.
Yes. Are you on the phone? Do you want to chat to me, or are you busy?
My sister was interested as well. She lives in Northampton.
Okay,
she was on speaker.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm guessing that's how the sign is written. Can you hear Juliet?
Yeah,
I just need to stay near my bag. Sorry, there.
I guess that the sign, that's not what you truly believe.
No.
'Cause
Yeah.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
You believe
Yeah.
that animals
Yeah.
should
So
be
what
abused.
would you consider animal abuse as?
Animal abuse.
Yeah.
I would consider it. Say if like some animals abroad being worked till they die, like
Yeah.
say donkeys.
Yeah.
People that are just vicious, nice to people, like kicking the hell out of a pet.
Yeah. So do you think it just applies to pets and domesticated animals, or do you think it applies to all animals, like wild animals, farmed animals?
Yes, farmed animals
as well.
Wild animals.
Yeah.
Like the elephants.
Yeah.
Where they sometimes turn around and attack people.
Yeah, like they shouldn't be used as labour or for entertainment. So do you disagree with zoos and marine parks, for example?
I would disagree with marine parks,
but not zoos.
100%. On the fence about zoos. What do you think about zoos, Juliet?
I think they're awful. I don't
Yeah.
think they should be allowed.
It's pure and simple exploitation, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, keeping them confined in prison for human entertainment is disgusting.
It is.
Absolutely. I didn't even think they had animal zoos and circuses and things anymore.
Yeah, well,
It's just horrendous.
there's actually one in Newquay still. There's a zoo in Newquay still. Is your sister? Did you say?
My sister in Northampton. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, but she doesn't obviously. Does she come down here? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah. So.
One of the worst zoos I've been to was London Zoo.
Yeah, I mean, and there's the pet.
It was horrific.
Yeah, and.
I was there. It was pacing up and down. I just wanted to shoot it.
Horrendous.
It was
Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah. So what about? Do you think? What's your name? Sorry.
Natalie.
Natalie, I'm Emma. So do you think animals who are forced into like CO2 gas chambers, for example, to eat their flesh and to eat their baby's flesh? I'm asking your sister. I've got a feeling that you might be on my page completely, Juliet. So I'm asking your sister what she thinks about pigs being forced into CO2 gas chambers and their babies being killed at 6 months old in CO2 gas chambers, if that's abuse or not.
Yeah, that's abuse. If you're going to kill an animal for eat, it should be stunned and then it should just be killed. I've got nothing against killing animals for eating, but I don't think they're dead. I think halal is disgusting. I mean, slit the throat, and I think they should be, all animals should be stunned before they're killed.
Okay.
I think that's the reality of life, because even if you don't agree with it, it's still got, people will not stop eating meat, like the general population.
Okay, but do you think there are people who are stopping eating meat and their animal secretions as well, though? Are there
Vegans.
people? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I know that people are. Yes.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is,
So you're both basically saying that if you kill an animal well, and they've had a nice life, and then you kill them properly, so you stun them properly. So if we were to breed your friend, for example, and make your friend have a baby, and then that baby, we brought her up until she was old enough to reproduce. We kept her in a nice big house and gave her really nice food. And then when she was old enough to reproduce, we forced her into pregnancy, took her babies away, and then attached her nipples to machines so that we could drink her breast milk.
I think the thing is,
would that be okay if we've given her a nice life?
No, I think what we're saying is that the reality of life is that, or not, even if we agreed or disagreed, it's irrelevant at this point. What we're saying is the reality of life is that there will always be a need, unfortunately.
Do you know that people used to say that about human slavery as well, that we've always done it and there'll always be a need? There's lots of injustices in the past where we've said that we've always done it and there's always going to be a need. It only took the minority to start speaking up about these injustices and helped people align their morals with their actions. Because most people say that they're against animal abuse, but then actively participate in it when we don't need to. In 2026 in the UK, there is absolutely no way anyone in this country needs to exploit animals for anything, for their skin, for their wool, for their flesh, for their baby's milk, for entertainment purposes. So most people will, disagree with what other people disagree with, like greyhound racing, yeah, that's really bad. Orcas in captivity, that's really bad. Fur coats, that's really bad. Then when it starts to get into leather territory, oh, but everyone else does it, so yeah, that's fine. Eating their flesh, everyone else does it, So it's like, why are we following the crowd? Why not just agree with all forms of animal exploitation?
Yeah, no, I can see, I understand that.
Yeah.
So you understand that, Juliet?
I statement of no animal is killed humanely if it doesn't want to die.
Exactly, but animals don't want to die, do they?
No.
No,
I think
but then
I'm-
we're a nation of meat eaters, and I'm included, and my daughter and my son-in-law, they're farmers, so...
But if just because we do it, just because we do something, it doesn't make it okay. That would be like a child abuser saying, "Well, I do it, so that makes it okay. I abuse children, so you should let me off the hook." Like just because something's legal and the majority do it.
The animal kingdom is very different to like a human being.
In what way? The animal kingdom's.
Animals are totally on instinct.
But you agree that they shouldn't be enslaved in marine parks and zoos, so you obviously understand that they're sentient, but then when it comes to something that you're actively participating in, that's where you draw the line. So you're saying that they're sentient.
The sheep on my daughter's farm, they're free, they're fed well, they have a really nice life, they have better tendencies,
Yeah, but I just explained.
They are killed humanely and quickly. They might not want to die.
Can we kill you? Can we kill you humanely and quickly, Juliet?
No, because I'm a human being.
So when the species changes, the definition of the word changes. Is that right? So humane killing, humane murder changes. The definition of the word changes just because the species changes.
Absolutely, 100%. And also,
that's so like to me that is just.
Do you eat lettuce? Why are you killing that lettuce? It's a living thing. It's a living, breathing thing.
A lettuce?
So if you're saying if you shouldn't eat a lettuce, then the definition.
No, you just. I think it's really, maybe I have a conversation with your sister because it's quite hard on the phone, like speaking to two of you, but lettuce aren't sentient. Would you say that it's the same thing chopping a tomato in half and
changing your thought pattern? It's a living thing.
No, I said sentient. Lettuce aren't sentient. They don't have a nervous system and a brain.
Well, you could say that about fish, a goldfish.
Fish are sentient. Fish are sentient. I'm not shouting, by the way. I'm just trying to make sure that she.
Lettuce is a living thing. Why were you killing a lettuce?
You keep saying the same thing over and over again, but lettuce aren't sentient. Because you just said that you just said that we shouldn't exploit animals for certain things because they're sentient. So you agree that they're sentient.
Nothing about sentience. You're the one that's bringing that into context.
Okay, so why do you think?
You're doing it to an animal, then you're doing it to a lettuce. It's not fair on the lettuce.
Would you? Can you actually tell me that you would stand up in front of 200 people or a massive crowd of people and tell me that the same thing is chopping a lettuce in half and chopping a baby cow in half? You would feel exactly the same emotions because they're both living.
If the cow was dead, obviously it's not alive.
No, yes, but if the cow was alive, you would feel exactly the same way if the cow was alive. Chopping a cow in half.
Because you can't kill an animal. You can't chop an animal in half if it's still alive because it'll keep moving, and you can't do that.
Okay, I feel like maybe this conversation isn't going anywhere because you've decided because you eat animal flesh that you're not open to the fact that they feel emotions and pain and struggle the same way as humans, and humans are animals. So I feel like the conversation maybe isn't going anywhere. They are sentient. They feel. No, this isn't views. These are facts. Animals are sentient. Humans are animals. It's a fact. It's not an opinion. Okay, so say if there was a person who is disabled who wasn't as intelligent as you and who didn't understand what was going on, would it be okay to kill them?
No, because they're human beings.
Okay, so it's not because we're intelligent, it's because we're a specific species then. Because if you're talking about intelligence, then there are other humans who aren't as intelligent. Okay. All right, well, enjoy being a hypocrite because it's just absolutely massively hypocritical. Like don't agree with some.
Okay.
Don't agree with some forms of animal exploitation, but agree with others when it suits your actions. Like, it doesn't even make sense. It just, like, people are so hypocritical, it's insane.
No, I get that. I think, hang on a sec. I think you're very passionate, and I understand that. And hopefully, you'll have people that will.
Yeah, it's not a passion.
I guess doing the sign is out so people come up to you.
Yeah, so I get people to align their morals with their actions. But it's not a passion. I really hate it when people say it's a passion, because you wouldn't say that someone's passionate because they're not racist. It's a huge justice problem that is happening all day, every day.
You've got the drive
yeah.
to put your point of view across to as many people as possible. That's what I mean by That's what I'm saying.
I'll try and talk to this lady now as well, because I think she wanted to. Excuse me, did you want to have a chat about my sign?
It was quite controversial for me that you're saying that it's legal, so that's why I decided to come. But I think it's just like a catch for other people to talk to you.
So what would you think? What would you say animal abuse is? What would you
treating them not fair, without respect.
Okay.
Beating them, basically like that.
Beating them, not treating them. So would you agree that we should respect animals?
We should definitely.
Yeah, all animals.
All of them.
Yeah. Okay. So can we respect them whilst we exploit them for their skin, wool, flesh, baby's milk?
I don't really like it.
You don't like it, but do you participate in it though?
If I'm not producing that, then am I really participating in that?
Do you buy?
I'm not buying any fur clothes, any skin jackets, nothing like that.
You don't buy leather?
No.
No, you don't buy fur?
No, I don't.
You don't buy meat or eggs or dairy?
I eat meat, that's for sure.
Okay, so you eat meat, but you'll buy their flesh, but you won't buy their skin. How does that work? What do you think happens for them to get their flesh on your plate? Do you think that that's a great time, like, woo, go to the slaughterhouse, party?
No, that's for sure, no.
Yeah.
I actually work at a meat factory.
Okay. What do you mean by a meat factory?
Beef. They
So,
make cows there.
A slaughterhouse?
Yeah.
Okay, you work there?
In an office.
Whereabouts?
In Bodmin.
Okay, yeah, I go there often.
Oh, you go there?
Yeah, you work in the office on the right-hand side?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. How do you feel about working there?
Well, if in the office, you just see numbers, basically.
Okay, I
can't see the animals being killed with my own eyes.
Okay.
I know it's happening, but...
Have you heard them cry and scream? Yeah, I hear it every time I go there, I hear them screaming. I've been outside when the trucks are going in and they're literally looking into my eyes asking for me to help. Like, literally, they know, they can smell. Obviously, you probably know something about cows. They can smell what's about to happen to them. So would there be anything from stopping you from living vegan and not participating in it at all? So not eating their flesh or drinking their baby's milk, or you already said that you don't wear their skin or their fur. So what would be stopping you from not eating their flesh if you know that it causes them?
I really don't have an issue if that, for example, animals are being killed quickly, because I think as humans we need to eat meat to survive.
You think that we need to eat meat to survive?
Yeah, I don't think we can survive just eating vegetables and fruits.
So how do you think there are millions of worldwide athletes who are thriving on a plant-based diet? I go to the gym every day or do yoga every day, and I've been on a plant-based diet for about 5 or 6 years. I've not eaten flesh, animal flesh, but I used to think the same thing. So I probably first came across a vegan when I was like maybe about 12 years ago or something like that. But I didn't really make the connection to think she's really fit and strong. In the back of my mind, I still thought we need to eat animal flesh to survive, but we actually don't. And there are worldwide athletes who absolutely thrive. And there are studies done now to say that a lot of the time we're healthier without eating animal flesh, because all of the hormones that animals are pumped with and all that kind of stuff. So the idea that we need to eat them to be healthy is just an absolute myth. It's a lie that the animal agriculture industry spread to make people believe, so people carry on buying it all. So if you looked into it and you proved to yourself that you can be healthy without eating animals, would there be anything else from stopping you from not exploiting them for their flesh?
I think I'm consider it.
Okay.
It's not like I'm eating a lot of meat anyway.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not a meat person anyway. I would
Okay.
eat, but it actually gives me idea to think about.
Yeah, yeah, because I've actually, I know ex-slaughterhouse workers who used to work in slaughterhouses. They've got severe PTSD because of the killing the animals all the time, and now they speak up for the animals. Like, they're not only vegan, but they do what I do and speak up for them because they understand it's a huge injustice. And you even said yourself, like, animals should be respected, all animals. And it's like, why do we think that they should be respected whilst we actually eat their flesh? Like, and we've paid for them to be murdered with our money, you know? Have you heard of, can you watch, I mean, you said that you would think about it. What's stopping you from actually doing it? Like, what's stopping you from going away today and going, I'm going to take a stance against this because it's an injustice?
I'm not too sure if it's going to make me feel weaker or dizzy if I'm not eating meat. That's the only issue, I think we need meat, but then I would have to do some research and just find out more about it.
Okay, right. But like I said, if you did find out that you could be healthy, would you do it? If you found out, and you're speaking to me today, like, I don't know what it takes for people to believe it, because you're speaking to me. I'm fit and healthy. I'm a yoga teacher. I'm a personal trainer. I train every single day. Like, I've never felt healthier in my life. And even when people see evidence stood right in front of them, they still can't accept the fact that we don't need to eat them. So even if you went away and did that research, like, would there still be something stopping you? Would you still, you know, come up with another excuse, or would you go, no, I'm actually going to stop participating in it?
I have no idea. I can't tell you.
Okay.
The reason for me to stop.
If you were in their position, how would you feel? What would you want someone to do? If you were one of those cows being forced into that slaughterhouse and you were, people outside were hearing you scream for your life, what would you want someone to do?
Help me, for sure.
Yeah. So what is the one thing that you could do to help them?
Stop eating them.
Exactly, 100%. Yeah, it's not, it's not hard.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Would you watch a documentary for me?
Yeah.
Yeah? Have you got your phone and you can write it down?
Yeah. If it's
And also there's a challenge online called Challenge 22, which helps you switch to a plant-based diet. But do you know the definition of veganism?
Yes.
What is it?
So basically you only eat plant-based meals?
So yeah, a lot of people think it, but no, that's not it. That's what I used to think.
Okay.
It's the ethical principle that says humans should not exploit other animals. So it includes their wool, skin, flesh, eggs, milk, not going to zoos, not paying for dog breeders. So it's not just a diet. Most people think it's a diet, like I used to, but it's not. So I think it's really important for people to know that, because that's why people see it as a personal choice, because they think it's just gluten-free or one of those sorts of diets, but it's actually a justice movement for animals. So the reason I mentioned that, because Challenge 22, it's a free 22-day challenge, and you get nutritionists and mentors that helps you to switch to a plant-based diet. But remember, that's not what veganism is. Veganism is the whole justice movement. Yeah. So I'll write. Do you want me to get? So the documentary is called Dominion, and you can find that on YouTube. Dominion, yeah, YouTube, and then Challenge 22. Challenge 22 is the challenge that you can do for 22 days. Would you at least watch the documentary and do the challenge?
Yeah, I think I'll give it a go.
And see how you feel after 22 days. But make sure, you get the right nutrients and you're doing it properly. Replace protein with really good protein sources like tofu. The tofu that I get from Lidl is amazing. I put it in the air fryer for 35 minutes and make it all crispy. Like, you can get the smoked version and it's really good. That is a good replacement for meat. Replacing it with a couple of lentils. Lentils are a good protein, but you need to replace it with decent quality protein rather than just completely excluding it, meat from your diet. Actually replace it with tofu, and seitan's a really good one as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so
All right.
much.
Nice to meet you. No worries. See you later. Come and speak to me about it. Come and.
Sorry, that's so embarrassing.
Had two people just walk past and say, "Oh my God, that's really odd. You are really weird." And then some other girl just went into Primark and said, "That's got to be a dare." And she wouldn't come over and speak to me. I was saying, "Come and speak to me about it then." And she was going, "No, that is just so weird. That has got to be a dare." Like, absolute hypocrites. Hi David, you okay? Hi Vegan Anthem. How are you? Right, I've had one person who at least said that she was going to try and go vegan. She's going to go and watch Dominion. She works. David, were you here a second ago? That girl that I was speaking to works at the slaughterhouse that I go to every month. She works there, and she works in the office. She said that she hears the cows screaming and crying, but she's never actually seen them killed. But she said that she's going to watch Dominion, so that's good.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can try and catch that girl again that just went in that said, "That has got to be a dare. You're really weird." I'm going to ask her how long she's been vegan, see what she says. Lots of shaky heads, but no one actually speaking to me. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Legal.
Oh no, sorry, I didn't read it fully. Should we stop?
Okay. What would you define animal abuse as? Is that your daughter?
My granddaughter.
Okay.
She's foul.
Not sure if Beth's here. Hi Jake. Hi Wes. Hi guys. Okay, I'm going to stay for like 20 more minutes. I'm aiming for an hour. It's not that busy today.
All right.
Just got my eye.
Yeah, do you agree or disagree?
When you say legal, So I don't quite understand. You mean animal abuse
Yeah.
should be legal?
Well, what do you define animal abuse as?
That's what I don't know. That's what I just saw.
I just need to stay close to my bag here.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my bag.
please do. Yeah.
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 What do you define animal abuse as?
Well, that's what I've come to speak to you about, isn't it?
Yeah, so you explain to me what you think animal abuse is.
No, when I see the abuse, because I deal with abuse, but I deal with abuse from women
Okay.
and that
Yeah.
sort of area.
Yeah.
So when I say animal abuse should be legal,
Yeah.
that's the same thing. There is illegal and legal. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
trying to understand what you mean.
Yeah, so I don't agree with this. I'm just trying to get people to align their morals with their actions.
Okay.
So what do you think? What would you say if somebody said, "Oh, I don't know what animal abuse means"? What would you say? What would you try and explain it as?
Maltreating animals.
Mistreating them. Okay.
Mistreating them.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like humans.
Yeah.
You know, a wife that's been beaten every day or being brainwashed or being
Yeah.
controlled
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
abused
Yeah.
mentally in the other way.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I do,
Yeah.
really.
Me too. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think, like have you heard of greyhound racing? You know, where dogs are forced to race for entertainment. They're made to run round.
But you know, I have seen on the telly, which I don't agree with.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
just makes my body cringe.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, why are you putting these animals to do this kind of thing for you?
Exactly. So you don't agree with it. You think that's abuse.
No, I don't
Yeah.
agree. That's seriously abuse.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
Okay.
So what about?
I saw the word legal.
Yeah. So what about what about when animals are made to go into slaughterhouses? Is that abuse?
Yeah.
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 When they're forced into a slaughterhouse so that
And they
people.
have no escape.
Yeah. So then people can wear their skin, their wool,
Yeah.
eat their flesh, take their baby's milk. You think that's abuse as well?
You mean like cow milk?
Sorry.
You mean like cow milk?
Yeah.
Well, cow milk, you know, they have like houses that they take the cow milk. I mean, this country, we have a lot of, you know, drink from the cow milk.
Yeah, and that.
Where I come from, we don't actually do that.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, don't you think?
Yeah, it's very weird. It's only when I came to England.
But why are we drinking milk from another species? It's
I
weird.
don't know, because as a woman, you have your own milk.
Yeah, when you're a baby.
That
Exactly.
milk is meant for that period.
Yep.
And finished.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I came in here, I went into the shop, I just want cow milk everywhere.
Yeah, it's
And
weird.
I go to
Yeah.
conditions.
Okay,
Anyway,
so I'm
thanks for
just trying to get
clarifying that.
people
Yeah.
to align their morals with their actions.
clarifying
Yeah.
that.
So do you not exploit animals for anything then? You don't use animals? You don't eat them?
No, I won't say I won't eat them because I come from Africa, you know.
Yeah.
We eat meat where I come from. I
But
grew
does
up
culture, does that...
It's culture.
Yeah, but does...
But we eat meat, like, you know, my parents would go hunting in the bush during the night.
But is that not cruelty though?
No, because over in Africa, that's what has always happened.
Okay, so if they need to do it, if they don't have any other option, then it's
They
not
don't
cruel.
have any other option.
Yeah,
They don't have to go and buy food or
Yeah,
meat.
so because they can't go to the supermarket, but when you're living here, you have the option, right?
When I'm living here, is you go to the supermarket.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have the option of, you know, not going to the supermarket like what I did back home. My parents didn't have the option of going
Yeah,
to the supermarket.
but you have the option in this country.
The option in this country, yeah.
So you could avoid doing it if you know that it's
Like
cruel.
my children, they're all like vegetarian, and I'm also drawing into that.
Yeah.
Into becoming one.
Because it's the only ethical option. I mean, not vegetarian, because vegetarian still exploits animals for their skin, for their wool, for their baby's milk.
Everybody would have a different opinion of what I think or what you think.
But you just agreed that those things are cruel. But then when it comes
None of
to...
the things in this world are cruel, you know.
But you came over to me because you don't agree with my sign, and now you're taking it back. Now you do agree with it.
I was confused about the legal and illegal.
Yeah, so now you're saying it should be legal.
So what you mean is the message didn't come to me as if that should be legal to do that.
Yeah.
You know.
But you agree with the you're saying
What
it's...
you're explaining now, I agree.
Yeah.
You know, but when I read it as I'm passing, you know.
So that's why I'm saying if you disagree with the sign, animal abuse shouldn't be legal. And if you agree that in this country, you don't need to participate in it at all, you have the option to not eat animals and their baby's milk and their eggs. We don't need to take those things when we have another option. We don't need to wear their skin because we can have leather made out of plants instead. We don't need to abuse animals here. You don't need to. So why is it that, and I'm not, saying this to be horrible or call anyone out, but I'm just trying to get people to understand that we don't need to do it. And most people act.
Kind of like you're raising the awareness now.
Yeah.
And I've come to speak to you. It's
Yeah.
also raising awareness for yourself.
Yeah.
Someone else.
Yeah.
Because until people like yourself can actually bring this message out.
Exactly. But you sound quite open-minded about it, which a lot of people.
Because where I come from,
Yeah.
there's things that we do over there. And when I come here,
Yeah.
I'm married to this society.
Yeah.
There's things that's totally opposite.
Exactly.
From what I was brought up to.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. And I agree that obviously your family maybe don't have a choice back in Africa. There are certain parts of the world, maybe they're slightly more impoverished or, have to go out and, they have to use animals to survive. But we in this...
I was watching this program, not program really, it's a kind of...
a documentary. Yeah.
It's from Africa anyway. But it's from this part of Africa that still live in the forest.
Yeah.
They still don't have houses. They don't even know anything. They haven't seen a mirror before.
Exactly.
I was watching that, and you know what was funny? I was just looking at it over the night before I go to sleep. And I'm sorry, but I saw this group of white people who's gone there to exploit them.
Yeah.
And these people, apart from their community, if a foreign person comes in, there's tendency to bringing disease to them because they don't know what is called the flu.
Yeah.
They live in very, very minimal.
Yeah.
And I've seen these people from here, they've gone there, pretend to falling in love with them, and pretend to live the life they live. If they live the life they live, because these people live in the forest.
Yeah. So basically, I agree that some. Yeah, I'll wait just 1 second. So I agree.
I need to go anyway.
Okay, can I give you the name of a documentary for you to watch?
Yes.
It's called Dominion. Will you remember that? Dominion on YouTube. Watch that documentary. Okay. All right. See you later. Thank you.
Who's possessed you to think that animal abuse?
I just need to stay close to my bag. Do you want to come a little bit closer? What did you say? Sorry.
Who's possessed you to think that animal abuse should be legal?
So yeah, it says animal abuse should be legal. Yeah. Why does it matter what's on the other side? You're asking me about this sign.
What's on the outside then?
Why does it matter
There is nothing wrong with animal cruelty. Why?
Okay, so what do you define animal abuse as?
Beating up them.
Beating them up?
Drowning them,
Yeah.
killing them, just like verbal abuse.
Why do you think that that's abusive? Why do you think that's abusive?
Look at this. Ow. See, that's just mean, isn't it?
Yeah, so if you did the same thing to an animal, they would feel that pain as well. Yeah, because they're sentient.
Look, come on, mate.
Yeah, okay, so I agree with that. So do you disagree with like zoos and marine parks? And
Well, it depends, because if they're a rescue animal, fair enough. If they're not,
so if it's a sanctuary, then it's fine. Yeah, I agree with that as well. But zoos where they're imprisoned for human entertainment, you disagree with it? Okay, so like greyhound racing, you disagree with that? Yeah, okay, so what about murdering an animal to wear their skin? So leather, you think that that's bad as well? Yeah, what about like forcibly impregnating a female cow so that when she's pregnant and after 9 months of her being pregnant, her baby's taken away, she cries for days for her baby so that humans can attach her udders to a machine and take her milk that was supposed to... Is that abusive or not?
Yes, that is abusive. So,
okay, so do you not buy... I'm trying to get...
It is clickbait.
I'm trying...
It is clickbait.
Can I answer you?
No, can you answer me?
It's not... What do you mean clickbait? I'm not on social...
Clickbait,
I'm not on social media.
You're saying that you disagree with animal cruelty.
But you're
literally putting up a sign that says animal cruelty should be legal.
You're saying that you should... You're saying that you disagree with it.
Yeah, and you're saying you agree with it.
So I'm asking you if you participate in it or not.
I don't.
You don't buy dairy or meat?
No, I'm vegan.
Are you actually vegan?
Yes. So why
are you vegan? Why are you vegan then?
Because I think animal cruelty is rude. Why do you have that sign?
Because you think animal cruelty is rude. I just want your answer and then I'll tell you, I promise. Why are you vegan?
Because animal cruelty is okay.
How long have you been vegan?
Since I was 5.
Since you were 5? So are your parents vegan?
Yeah.
Are they actually?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. What do you have for dinner?
I usually have like beans, like a bean wrap, and then I like to have some lettuce and so I like some protein.
Okay.
I like to have vegan cheese with it as well.
Okay. What vegan cheese brand do you buy? Okay. Are you actually vegan? Are you vegan? No, you're not. You're not. Because I'm trying to get people to stop abusing animals. And the only way to get people's attention, it's not clickbait. I'm trying to get people to, if you're actually vegan, you should be supporting what I'm doing. I'm vegan and I am an animal rights activist. If I stood here, listen, what's your name? What's your name? Rebecca. My name's Emma. Right, so if I stood here with a sign that said, everyone should be vegan, oh my God, stop exploiting animals, no one would talk to me because they think that I'm preaching to them, which to be fair, I pretty much am, because I'm trying to stop them from abusing animals. The only way of getting people to talk to me is by saying the opposite, so that when they come over like you did, very angry, and they go, I'm against animal abuse, how dare you? I go, okay, so how long have you been vegan for then? And then they'll start to understand that what is happening to animals is an injustice, and then they shouldn't be doing it. And I go through all of the different types of animal exploitation like I did with you, because people will start to say, oh yeah, I disagree with zoos or I disagree with marine parks, like orcas shouldn't be in captivity. But then when it comes to exploiting them for their skin, it starts to get a little bit, more wobbly, like, oh yeah, no, not sure about. And then when it comes to eating their flesh or their secretions, that's when they start to say, oh, but that we need to do that. We've always done it. And trying to justify their abuse when we don't actually need to do it. So what would be stopping you from living vegan and not exploiting animals? They're going to die anyway. So you know how you're going to die at some point anyway as well. Would it be okay to force you into a slaughterhouse and use your skin?
Like they're already in the thing, and if I don't eat it, then it's going to go to waste. And I think
they're already in what, like the packets in the supermarket?
Yeah, like they've already been through the
process. Do you know what supply and demand is? So like when you demand something with your money, the supply increases. So when you take one thing off the shelf, it gets replaced with something else. And when that happens on a mass scale, that's exactly what's happening to animals. So if every single person stopped the demand, what do you think would happen?
Yeah, but I'm not every single person.
Yeah, okay, I understand that. But when you think about it, like, you know how cows are like a man-made animal? And like, yeah, they are. And
they're domesticated. They're artificially bred.
Yeah, but like, you know what I mean, like,
yeah.
And they produce a lot of methane. That would be bad for like pollution.
You're not vegan, are you?
I am. But like,
so why are you saying this?
But then when you think about it,
I'm not a mate. I'm not going to talk to anyone if they're screaming at me.
When you think about it, like it would. Like I understand we need vegans and we need meat eaters. Sorry, that sounds stupid. But like, so for pollution.
You know that the leading cause of deforestation is animal agriculture. The leading cause of greenhouse gases is animal agriculture.
But then if we have an overpopulation of one species, that's also bad for the environment. So, you know.
Well, sorry, say that again. When we have an overpopulation of one species, it's bad for the environment.
Yeah, like humans,
and humans are reproducing at a mass scale, and it is bad for the environment. But the number one species that is horrific for the environment is what? Yeah, exactly. So why would we continue?
You can't just like send them off like you did like Hitler did. You can't just population control. Sorry.
Who? What? The animals?
No, the humans. Like
no, of course, but do you agree that we don't need to exploit animals to be healthy and survive?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why would we carry on doing it if we don't need to do it?
Yeah, but then they would produce too much.
Why are you vegan? So it's not because it's an injustice what's happening to animals.
But when you think about it.
But you can't answer my question. Okay, but that's why maybe it's a time to understand why you're vegan, because it's a massive injustice what is happening to animals, and that's why I'm stood here today. You obviously don't agree with animal abuse, but you don't know why you don't agree with it. Have you ever seen a cow, an animal being murdered by a human? Have you seen them being killed in a slaughterhouse? You've seen footage? Honestly, what?
I've seen a pig, and basically they put like sugars on it, so it died quite peacefully, like quickly. Which, obviously.
If we did that to you, would that be peaceful?
Yeah.
If we put shockers in the back of your neck and killed you, that would be peaceful.
Yeah, because I die quickly.
You honestly think that that was a peaceful, nice thing to do?
That you're a
No, we
peaceful,
should.
nice person.
And then we need to go soon.
Okay. That was strange. Okay, I'm going to give it 4 more minutes and then I'm leaving. In fact, I actually think I'm going to leave it there, guys, because yeah, I need to get back and it might end up being a long conversation. So thank you so much for joining, anyone who's in there. Yes, dogs can be on plant-based dog food as well. My dogs are on a plant-based dog food. Thanks for the support, anyone who's in here. Thank you to any trolls who are in here helping with the algorithm. And I'll see you all soon. Bye.